A Ugandan Olympic runner just got banned for 5 years. She tested positive for testosterone. Twice. But she is not the only one. Kenya and Uganda are losing athletes to doping bans at an alarming rate. Over 140 Kenyan athletes are currently suspended. The crisis is getting worse. Let me explain what is happening. On January 5th, 2026, the Athletics Integrity Unit made an announcement that shocked many. Mercyline Chelangat was banned for 5 years. The Ugandan distance runner tested positive for testosterone. Not once, twice. The first sample came from an out-of-competition test in Uganda on August 13, 2025. The second came after she ran the marathon at the 2025 World Championships in Tokyo on September 14th. Both samples showed testosterone and its metabolites. Both were consistent with external use. Chelangat is 28 years old. She won bronze in the 10,000 meters at the 2018 Commonwealth Games. She competed at 2 Olympics, Tokyo 2020 and Paris 2024. Her personal bests are 31 minutes 15 seconds for 10,000 meters and 2 hours 24 minutes 12 seconds for the marathon. Now her career is over. She will be 33 years old when the ban ends in October 2030. For a distance runner, that is too old to come back. But here is the thing. Chelangat is not unique. She is not even unusual. She is part of a pattern, a crisis, one that is tearing through East African distance running. On the same day that Chelangat's ban was announced, Kenya's Alice Koigi was also suspended. Koigi got 2 years for methylprednisolone, a prohibited glucocorticoid. Koigi and Chelangat became the first 2 East African athletes to be sanctioned by the AIU in 2026. But they will not be the last. Kenya is facing what many are calling the worst doping crisis in the history of the sport. Since 2017, nearly 130 Kenyan athletes have been suspended for doping violations. Right now, at least 143 Kenyan athletes are currently under active suspension. Most of them are from athletics. That number is staggering. Ruth Chepngetich set the women's marathon world record in Chicago in October 2024. She ran 2 hours, 9 minutes, and 56 seconds. Then in July 2025, she was suspended for using a masking agent. She is now banned for 3 years. Albert Carrier won the 2021 New York City Marathon. On January 12, 2026, he was provisionally suspended for SIRA. That is a type of EPO, a blood booster. Kibiwot Kandi held the world half marathon record. He was charged for refusing to submit to sample collection in March 2025. The suspensions keep coming, and they are not slowing down. Between January and July 2025, 46 Kenyan athletes were banned. The Anti-Doping Agency of Kenya caught 34. The AIU caught 12. Over the past 2 years, 208 Kenyan athletes have been suspended. That is more than 100 athletes per year. So what is causing this crisis? The head of the Athletics Integrity Unit, Brett Clothier, explained the problem in an interview with the BBC. He said Kenya has a huge pyramid of talent. The difference between the top and the bottom is not very much. In most countries, if you are not in the top 10, you cannot make a living as a runner. But in Kenya, hundreds of athletes are almost as fast as the world champions. Only a few can make it to the big races. That creates desperation. If you can shave 30 seconds off your marathon time, you might get a contract. You might change your life. And that is where the doping comes in. The substances being used are varied. In 2024, EPO cases surged. 7 athletes were caught using it. 7 more were busted for triamcinolone, a corticosteroid. 2 used masking agents. The problem is not just at the elite level, it goes deeper. In 2023, there was a massive PED trafficking bust in Eton, Kenya. Eton is the heart of Kenyan distance running. Most of the top athletes train there. The bust shocked the nation. Athletes were not just using banned substances, they were buying them locally, easily. The Kenyan government has admitted the crisis is real. In September 2025, the World Anti-Doping Agency declared Kenya non-compliant. WADA gave Kenya 21 days to fix the problems or face a global ban. That would have been catastrophic. Kenyan athletes would have been banned from all international competitions, including the Olympics. The Kenyan government acted fast. They restored funding to the Anti-Doping Agency of Kenya. They promised $5 million per year until 2028. They fast-tracked reforms. The ban was averted. For now. But the crisis continues. Testing has increased dramatically. At the Kenyan National Championships, testing is up 400% from where it was. The AIU is conducting more out-of-competition tests. They are targeting athletes below the elite level, and they are catching more athletes, which is why the numbers keep rising. Brett Clothier says this is actually a good thing. It means the system is working. It means athletes who were previously slipping through are now being caught. Mercyline Chelangat tried to explain her positive tests. She said she was using painkillers after a 2023 injury. She said she was treated for pneumonia in August 2025 and received injections. She claimed she did not know what was in them. The AIU investigated. They reviewed her medical documents. They interviewed her. They concluded that none of the medications she provided could explain the testosterone. She admitted the violations on December 31st, 2025. She accepted the 5-year ban. This is a common pattern. Athletes claim contamination. They claim ignorance. They say they did not know. But under WADA rules, athletes are strictly liable for what is in their bodies. Some athletes have legitimate explanations. Contaminated supplements are real. Medical mistakes happen. But the AIU says most cases are not accidents. The problem is systemic. It involves coaches, agents, managers, medical personnel. All of them are part of the pipeline that supplies athletes with banned substances. Kenya is trying to fix this. Athletics Kenya held a high-level education forum in Nairobi. They brought together ADAKI, the AIU, and government partners. The goal is to educate athletes about what they can and cannot take. Over 55,000 people have benefited from education and awareness campaigns between 2021 and 2024. Testing has increased. Between 2021 and 2024, ADAC tested 8,145 athletes. But education alone will not solve the problem. The financial incentives are too strong, the competition is too fierce, and the substances are too easy to get. Uganda faces similar issues. Mercyline Chelangat is not the first Ugandan athlete to be caught, and she will not be the last. The crisis extends beyond Kenya and Uganda. Ethiopia, Tanzania, and other East African countries are also dealing with doping problems. But Kenya is the epicenter. World Athletics says the AIU is the gold standard in anti-doping. Testing is up, education is up, but the numbers tell a different story. Mercyline Chelangat's 5-year ban is just the latest chapter. She will be remembered not for her Commonwealth Games bronze medal, but for the positive test that ended her career. Kenya's reputation as the home of distance running is at stake. The question is whether the reforms will work, whether athletes will stop taking shortcuts. For now, the crisis continues, and the sport loses credibility every time another name appears on that list.